When Maria hit Puerto Rico, the relief was not coordinated. We wanted to have an app to help the volunteers on the field collect the data and coordinate help to connect human beings with aid.
Si no fuera por el trabajo que hicieron los desarrolladores de la aplicación, no hubiésemos logrado analizar todas las ayudas que pudimos distribuir alrededor de distintos pueblos.
I came up with the idea using solar energy to give a second life to dead laptop batteries to bring power to the people.
Yo soy sola, yo no tengo a nadie. Como familia, cuando Javier me instaló en la planta, lo más que me alegró fue poder ver televisión, sinceramente. Me puse bien contenta.
As a programmer, by giving a small part of their talent, they can really create solutions to help thousands of people in need.
I didn't expect to have myself working on relief efforts, but once you see other people being happy, that was fulfilling.
The Bible says, love your neighbor. If we do that, imagine how many things would be changing in this world. Knowing how to make software, it's like having superpowers.
Make a change in the world.
Start today.
Join Call for Code.
Únanse a Call for Code. You could win $200,000, which I think that's pretty awesome too.
In 2018, IBM teamed up with David Clark Cause, the United Nations Human Rights, and a handful of partners to launch Call for Code. The idea was simple: tap into the collective expertise of more than 24 million developers around the globe and give them the tools to create tech for good. Thanks to the efforts of more than 180,000 developers, data scientists, and technologists in 165 nations, more than 5,000 cloud applications have been created using technologies like machine learning, blockchain, and IoT. But Call for Code is so much more than a coding competition. What makes this program unique is that IBM is committed to helping the top solutions become reality and have real impact. Through the IBM Code and Response initiative, and with the help of open source communities and our implementation partners, we're taking winning solutions and working with them to put them into real production. Our winners from the past 2 years, Project Al and Prometeo, won $200,000, and we're offering the same to this year's winners. Perhaps more importantly, these teams are living every developer's dream, the opportunity to turn their ideas into reality and make an impact. This year, we're expanding the theme and asking developers to take on one of the most significant challenges of our time: climate change. We aligned Call for Code 2020 to the key themes from the United Nations 75th anniversary, including natural disaster preparedness and response, clean water, and clean and affordable energy. We're excited to see how your code can save lives, and our developer advocates are here to help get you started. Commit to the cause, push for change, answer the call. Visit ibm.biz/CFC2020 and change the world with your code.
SafeQ is an easy-to-use system for addressing the fact that businesses have to now limit how many people go in their stores and limit how many people are in polling places because of the outbreak of COVID-19. And that has caused very long and very protracted lines at places like Costco and polling places. So my thought was, can you wait in a sort of virtual line, or can you wait in a place where it's actually much safer than being in these long lines? And so we developed this so that you could just drive up to a store whenever you're ready to shop. And instead of standing in the line that they made for you outside with little X's on the ground, you stayed in your car with basically a mobile app that allowed you to be in line without actually physically being in line, and then be notified by someone at the store when it was your turn to come in. We're using IBM Cloudant. It uses push notifications and the mapping and GPS technologies, React Native, which is the mobile technology, and another part I didn't mention, which is having QR codes, which is used as your identity. You could go to polling places, you could help make that, remove barriers to voting as we remove barriers to shopping and other things. Technology should be able to help with this. We should be able to do better than say, just get in line and put as many red X's on the ground 6 feet apart as we can spend time doing.
Project OWL builds technology that helps communities prepare for and deal with natural disasters by deploying communications infrastructure to a place that may not have any, or infrastructure that may have been destroyed during a natural disaster. This March, Project OWL will officially open source the ClusterDuck protocol alongside IBM and the Linux Foundation. Our hope is that by open sourcing this device firmware, we can encourage not only the millions of developers around the world to help us build this innovative solution, but we can also get our technology into the hands of folks who otherwise wouldn't be able to use it. If we limited our source of concepts and creativity to only the folks in the room, we can only source that set of ideas from a few people we can directly turn to. Open source enables an organization like Project OWL to come up and expand on the creativity of millions of developers to continue to build game-changing technology for the world. If you're a designer or creative, or if you're just passionate about new technology and technology that can make an impact, you can visit through the clusterduckprotocol.org. The Linux Foundation will have links on their website, or on the IBM Code and Response program. GitHub links will be available for you to download, install, develop on, and build with the ClusterDuck protocol. Or if you just have great ideas you want to contribute and peek inside the conversation going on at Project OWL, join our open source Slack community where you can connect with hundreds of other developers from around the world working on this. We hope to see you there.
The submission form is available now. Even if you're not ready to submit, and that's okay, most teams wait until the final week and sometimes even the last minute, but it makes sense to understand what you'll need to prepare in advance. Open the submission form to see details on the information required and the field length limits. The standard deadline for both tracks is July 31st, 2020. You're eligible for early judging if you submit for the COVID-19 accelerated deadline on April 27th, 2020. Explore the participation agreement. This contains the complete rules, prize details, and eligibility criteria. And if you think you're ready, feel free to submit your application already. If things change, just submit again using the same email address. We'll take the last submission from that email address as the final one. My first submission tip is don't reinvent the wheel. As you brainstorm your solution, look at other solutions that may exist already. There may be existing tools, data sets, and APIs that you can build on. Your solution will have the greatest impact if it addresses a long-standing problem that doesn't have an existing solution. It will also be more valuable if it builds on something that's already widely used. Maybe a commercial product, maybe an open source project, something else maybe with an API. It's also important to look at standards and protocols that you can implement or leverage, such as the OASIS EDXL format. My second tip is to document your source code repository very well. That goes beyond what goes in the submission form. The call for code submission form allows you to provide information about your application in various formats, but one of the best ways to detail how your code works, how it solves the problem, is to provide as much additional detail as you can in a consumable way so that judges can understand what you've built. And a great way to do that is to start with a great README file. There's lots of best practices for this, and in fact, our project skeleton has one that's fleshed out for you that you can use for inspiration. Invest the time to create a powerful video. One of the most powerful ways to tie together your entire submission, and one that'll have an impact on various types of judges, technical folks, non-technical folks, will be a video that really quickly describes what you're trying to solve, how you solved it, does a demo of the submission itself with the full user flow, and then 45 seconds on the results and next steps, where you want to go with the project. Finally, double check the permissions on the video and source code repository that you provide in the submission form. There's no way for the judges to assess something if they can't get access to it. So even if you have a great solution, if the judges can't evaluate it, it will be disqualified. Double check the permissions. And that's it. Find us in Slack to answer any other questions, and best of luck in the competition. Your code can change the world. If you have any other questions, check out the challenge page and the FAQ pages. They have complete details.
Really hammer out early on in the competition what your pitch is.
We've got a strong idea of what we want to do, and we are both passionate about a mission and a vision.
Probably the best thing you can do is start early and also work on it a little bit every day. And
interview people, talk to people who have gone through natural disasters. If you've been through one, great, you have the experience. How can we take those problems and create solutions? But not only just create them at a hackathon, but also deploy them.
There's really software on both sides of our solution. The hardware has to run the software to do the thing. So trying to look at the 10,000 foot view of everything that's going on.
Innovation ideas can come from anywhere. It can come from hardware, can come from software, and you can provide the SaaS from the IBM Cloud.
Every week we had a couple calls at night after work where we would check in with each other and see what we were thinking about, what we were working on, what problems we had.
Go to a hackathon, go onto the Call for Code website, learn about what has been done before. Go to the code patterns. That's what I used to create DroneAid. Don't think of your solution first. You need to first think about the problem. The problem is the most important thing.
Sometimes as a developer, as a technologist, we could say like, oh, we just built this IoT thing that connects to others through radio, and then you can connect with it on your phone through Wi-Fi, and they communicate on low power. It sounds obvious, right? But to the rest of the world, these solutions aren't. So you really need to play up why you're clever and why what you came up with is truly unique and special. And that's what's going to help you stand out from the rest of the crowd.